To everybody that is pushing for the MLB having a universal DH, I do not like you. I do not like these people. They drive me nuts. It is a stupid debate. It is a stupid concept, and it's just a stupid idea. It's probably going to happen at some point because it just seems like we're going to be trending that way, but I don't like it. And before you say, oh, you're just an old baseball fan, I'm in favor of automatic strike zone or robotic strike zone, whatever you want to call it. I love review. I think it's great. I love StatCast, all that. Players, bat flipping, whatever. It's great. I love that. I think it's great for the game. But here's why I'm opposed to a universal DH. A pitcher's hitting is great. Everybody loves pitchers hitting. Jacob deGrom is a really good hitter. Madison Bumgarner is a really good hitter. Imagine if we never had the moment with Bartolo Colon hitting a home run, or Madison Bumgarner, he had a walk-off this year. It allows for weird things to happen because you have a pitcher hitting who's not a great hitter, and it's exciting, and I love it. And honestly, I wish Ohtani, I know he DHs a lot, but I kind of wish he went to a National League team when he came over, just so he could pitch and hit more as the pitcher and not just, and like when he pitches and hits, bats lead off, and they DH for like the right fielder or whatever they do. I think it's great. I love the weird stuff like that. That's what I love about baseball. I love the weird stuff, and that's what you get from having no DH. It's what makes it fun. You get weird things like that. And even when you do have the DH and then you take him out, and in the American League you get the pitcher hitting in like the 13th inning because it's some crazy game and you're going to play the matchups, I think it's great. When you add the DH, it makes the manager's job easier. You have extra bat in the lineup. You don't have to worry about defense because a lot of times guys DH because they're not good. They're not good defenders. Like a lot of guys' careers, David Ortiz, he toward the end of his career, he was a DH because he's not a good defender. A-Rod was a DH at the end of his career because he's not a good defender. Nelson Cruz has been a DH most of his career because he can't play defense. These guys have positions because they can't play defense, and defense is a part of baseball. And you're giving guys jobs and positions because they can only do one thing. They can only hit. Their job is to come up one of every 18 plays because you got 9 guys for your team and 9 guys for the other team. Instead, you're in the field for you have your at bat, and then you're in the field for half for all the other team's plays, and you're not guaranteeing a ball and you're not guaranteeing a play, but you have an impact. There, balls hit to you. If you're the first baseman, you gotta make a pick. If you're a third baseman, you'll get a grounder. You're left fielder, you gotta go back up the center fielder on a single to center. Stuff like that, little things that matter every now and then because baseball's weird and weird things happen in baseball. And another reason why I'm against the universal DH is because it keeps the leagues different. I think it's one of the neatest things in sports. They have 2 different leagues. That is, you actually have 2 different leagues. It's not just conferences. It's not just split East-West. It's not just split AFC, NFC. There's actually a difference between the rules of leagues. That's why I'm against the expansion of the playoffs. Because in baseball, 10 teams make the playoffs. The 10 out of 30 make the playoffs. That's an accomplishment to be in the top 10 and to make the playoffs. NBA, 16 to 30 make the playoff, and now you got this play-in. So now it's like 20 of 30 teams have a chance to make a title run. Baseball, you don't have that. So a wild card winning the World Series, like the Washington Nationals did a couple years ago, isn't that big of a thing because they're a top 10 team. Top team 10 is going to go and win championships. NFL, you got 14 to 32, so it's slightly better than the NBA, but not great. So baseball, making the playoffs is a big thing. So keep the playoffs small. That's what makes baseball unique. You got 2 leagues with 2 different rules. There's been so many unique moments of pitchers hitting home runs like this with Jose Fernandez hitting an absolute bomb and starting a benches clearing brawl. Like these moments were great. We talked about these moments forever. This is part of Jose Fernandez's legacy. We remember him for stuff like this, and people just want to take it away by not having pitchers. By not having pitchers hit, you're gonna have DHs, and it makes it so much easier for the manager. Like I'm not a Mets fan, but I live in New York, so I hear about the Mets all the time on the radio, and they're always wondering, what do you do with Dom Smith? Where is he going to play? He's not a good left fielder. He can kind of play third. He can kind of play first. He's not great at any of them. And then with the 2020, the COVID season, you had the universal DH, and he had a position. He was universal. He was the DH for a little bit, and it made it so much easier for the manager. But these guys, you got to learn to play the position. That's half of baseball. It's like you got to be able to play your full sport, and it's kind of annoying to watch. I'm younger, I'm a kid, and imagine you had a 12-year-olds who only hit. Like a kid could just complain the whole time, like, "Oh, I don't want to go in the field. The field's boring. I just want to hit." Everybody would want to do that. And the kids come up and they only want to be DHs. They don't want to play the field. They have no ability to play defense. They just hit baseballs. Baseball's a complex game. There's 2 pieces of it. There's offense and there's defense. And having universal DH is stupid and it's just going to make it so much easier for managers. People are going to want to be DHs now. You're going to have kids growing up only wanting to be a DH because they're going to idolize guys like this. I mean, I'm sure kids in Boston idolized David Ortiz, and he was a DH, and he was a great DH. I'm not taking anything away from him, but it's he played half of the game. Like, as good as he was, how good is he really if he only was able to play half of the game because he wasn't a good defender? And that's what's also unique about baseball is you can have a 300-pound first baseman, then a 180-pound shortstop who runs a 4.40, and your first baseman can barely do it in 6 seconds because he's out of shape. But they're both elite level baseball players, which is a thing that makes baseball unique. And baseball has so many unique things, and making a universal DH is just one thing that makes baseball less unique. And to me, that's a stupid idea. Baseball is my favorite sport, and I think it's the best sport in the world because of how unique it is. So many things that make baseball unique, and making it slightly less unique is just something that does not need to be done. So, if you're for the university age, I do not like you. I do not think it should happen. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, and yeah, I'm team no university age.